Alright, hello. This is BentlBuilds. Welcome to Red River in City Skylines. Last time we left off with a mess, a disaster.
Yeah, disaster is like a really good word. Hi, this is Bentel from the future, which is still like the past for you guys when you're watching this, but like it's the future for when I originally recorded it. It's just in the middle. But anyway, here's the thing. You're probably looking at this and you're like, there's buildings here, and there weren't in the last episode. What the hell? And you would be correct. Basically, what had happened was I was editing the last video, and it was the one where I like got everything zoned and ready, and then I pressed play, and it was like a big moment. And then the file got corrupted when I tried to save the video, and I lost the entire thing. So, yikes, big bummer. But past me is gonna like explain why the video ended in kind of a disaster anyway. So we're just gonna like pretend that never happened, and we're just gonna hop right back on the right track and keep chugging along. So yeah, sorry about that. This is my bad.
All the buildings were being abandoned. One of the mods I once used was not working anymore, and it was just a mess. But I have made some adjustments, and everything should be much better now. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna like press play for a second here, and we're gonna watch and see how it grows. Look at that. So much better, so much more functional. That's what we need. That's what we want. So, we're getting like this high-rise tower. That's exciting. This is more what I was going for. This was the idea. Amazing. So here is the next thing. As you will recall, I left this area empty because I didn't want to have it get kind of messed up and have like a really hard line between kind of where the downtown is and where Red Cliff is, because Red Cliff is going to be more small. Like it's not going to be a big part of the city. So what I did is I added the theme that I used for this Red Ridge neighborhood down into here as well. So what I'm thinking is it should transfer over to these blocks here, and if it does, it's gonna look badass, and it'll just be a really good look. So I'm pretty excited about that. So I'm just filling in the rest. We'll put some office in, why not? Just do low density on this corner. Down in here is just going to be low density housing. Nothing special. Obviously, I have not filled in this area along the river. That is on purpose. I am going to be doing like a whole park down in here. I just haven't done it yet because I need to figure out, the bridges. So that's going to be a big thing. And then I kind of figured that I would work on that around the same time that I start working on more like the skyline, and this big city hall complex that's going to be up here. That's what's going to be going on when I start to work on this. But for now, the focus is definitely going to be on the core. It'll be the same thing along this riverbank. I'm going to be doing some stuff with it because it needs help. It needs a lot of help, but we're not going to worry about it yet. So, and also, you will notice this is a lot more green than this is, obviously. I will be putting in more pine trees, so don't even worry about it. I didn't forget. There will be plenty of pine trees to go around. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and we are going to let this little area grow in. Shouldn't take too long. So I'm just going to fast forward this until it finishes growing, because I don't know what I would even say through this while we're watching. Okay, really quick. These buildings here, not a fan of, that. It's not that I dislike the buildings themselves, I just don't like the place that they have put themselves in. So, we're just gonna do, well, actually, we're not gonna do, yeah, we'll do commercial in there instead, so that it, blends. It's got a mesh. It's always got a mesh. I also noticed I forgot to fill that in by the hospital, so I'm just going to do more office development in there. I think that'll be just fine. I also want to point out, like, looking down this road, originally, when I had built it, I was kind of, like, sort of leery about it, because it was just going to be a straight shot, like, all the way through, and so I'm really glad that I put this tunnel in, because it kind of breaks up this sightline a little bit, and that will also be a really good benefit, because when I start to put in the actual, downtown core, it's going to be right in here. So I definitely think I'm going to be placing some cooler buildings right over this tunnel, so that, as you're coming down this road, you're going to get a really cool focal point there too. Some of these, like, high-rise apartments, I do like the buildings. I'm not too sure about, like, them being, they're all going in, like, on the edges. Nothing is going to be in the middle. So might be changing that up later. Also, look at this. I just really like how that looks. Like, I feel like, with the exception of Balltown over here, I feel like this does look kind of real. Like, it looks fairly, you've got the tracks, you've got the industry, you've got kind of a skyline starting to develop. Oh, I'm really excited. This is working. Well, this is really ugly though, but that's fine, Next thing is we're going to start zoning out this Kennedy neighborhood. And so, for that, we're going to... It's going to be pretty much almost exclusively low density. Don't hate me. I don't want to do this low density kind of stuff a ton all over the place, but I definitely feel like in this neighborhood, for it to be kind of what I want it to, it just makes sense for it to be a lot more residential, like with all of the mid-century modern housing and stuff like that. I definitely want that to be prominent in here, so that's what I'm going to be going for. And I, obviously am going to be leaving plenty of space for commercial as well. There's just, going to be a lot of low density residential, and that is okay. I cannot stress this enough. Low density is not the best, but it is also not, like, totally the enemy. Especially because this neighborhood, like the Kennedy neighborhood, which, by the way, I am not 100% sold on that name. That, like, John F. Kennedy was just the only thing I could remember from the 60s in the moment. So if you've got a better name suggestion for that, like, let me know. I am very open to other suggestions. I totally lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so the idea that I have for the Kennedy neighborhood is essentially that it is going to be like a very trendy kind of neighborhood, like it was built in the 60s, so it's got like all of those like the mid-century modern houses that were cool and then they were kind of ugly, but now they're kind of cool again. At least that is my personal feeling on mid-century modern houses. So that's kind of what's going on in here, which I think is going to be really great. So with that in mind, the other thing that I want to point out is that the new update that has the new roads, it has road pieces that are light rail for these pedestrian roads. So there's a very, very good chance that I will be utilizing that through this Kennedy neighborhood, especially, as kind of like letting it basically function as like the city's center, if that makes any amount of sense. So that's kind of what we're gonna go for. Obviously, lots of commercial, more along the major roads. I feel like that's a very reasonable decision to be making. And right now, the goal is not like for everything to look super perfect and pretty. Like, I mean, you saw with downtown the way that like it was kind of a disaster for a while, and I mean, it still doesn't look like perfect, but already just after giving it a minute, it looks a lot better than it did. And as it progresses, it's just gonna like keep improving. And so that's how it's gonna be over in here too. Like at first, it's gonna look a little funky. The zoning is gonna be probably a little bit off, but then as we, let it develop, it'll be a little more put together. It'll look not dumb, or at least less dumb, depending on what your opinion is. So yeah, it'll be really great. I also am thinking that this area in here is a very good candidate for more pedestrian roads. I think that's a definitely. At the very least, this street here, up to there, which means, actually, I wonder, I'll do a little bit of the high density residential, like right in there. I don't remember exactly what types of high density I put in this theme for this neighborhood, so if it looks funky, I might like get rid of it and replace it with commercial, but we'll see. We'll give it a chance first. And then the next thing is gonna thicken these up like I had to do for the other one, just to make sure it functions correctly. Which, love that. But I will say it does look like, at least for how it is downtown, like it hasn't been an issue as far as like buildings that are on regular roads and like the regular roads themselves, like, well, maybe not. I can't tell. I guess I haven't been paying attention too much, but yeah, it looks like people are driving on them, like they're being used. It's okay. Like, if we come over to our one ways, where are they? Right here. Yeah, see, people are using them. Right now they're not being used a ton just because there's not a lot of travel across the river yet because there's not a bridge. But I think we are on the right track for this little experiment. I also would just like to mention that I decided I don't like how this looks, so this is going to be going away at some point. Not right now, but just know, don't get attached to this, because it is going away. I like this building, but just the way that it's all laid out it's not working for me. For obvious reasons, it looks weird. So yeah, we're gonna do something else with that later on. I also am thinking that in here, I mean, there's not really much that makes much sense other than commercial. Because, you know, like, I don't even know what else, like, you wouldn't want to put a lot of residential in there, because noise pollution, and this just seems like a very natural place for there to be a big old chunk of commercial. And then, now that I've got that, I am going to come in and break up the residential a little bit, have a few little chunks of commercial within it, because, you know, that's a good thing to have. I do want them to all be kind of along these pedestrian roads. I think that would be like a cool kind of feature to have, like a kind of suburban pedestrian mall. Like, to me, that seems like a really kind of cool thing. But I guess we will just see how it goes. We'll do some of that in here too, and just bring it all the way over. All right. So once I've got these in, I'm just gonna go ahead and hit play. I'm not gonna dilly-dally too much longer. I just want to see how it looks as it's all filling in. Before I do this, I am gonna like hit save just in case. I don't want to like test my luck with this. So I'm gonna press play, and we are gonna just watch it grow. So 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, this is growing beautifully. Definitely some Palm Springs vibes. However, I feel like I saw flames over here. So, just want to make sure everything's fine. It's looking spooky. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, there was like one of those tall buildings over here, and then it went away, and I'm not entirely clear like what happened there. I'm pretty sure it was like right over in here, and it just disappeared. That was super weird. Okay, well, sounds good, I guess. Just in case, I'm gonna go ahead and mark these as being historical so they do not do that same thing. I'm pretty sure there was another one in here that also did that. That's super weird. I am gonna also mark this one as historical for the same reason. Can't be risking it. Anyway, back to here. This is like super fun. I really like this. Not only like with these pedestrian streets, like it totally works, but then like all of these like mid-century modern, like all of the pools, there's like it works really well. And like with the palm trees, like obviously I haven't been doing the palm trees in these other areas, but like, you know, I mean, it's the same thing that happened in like, you know, Las Vegas and like LA, where palm trees were not necessarily native to the area, but they grew there, so people freaking grew them. They really went for it. And just to point out, this library totally works with this style. I like this. I actually really like this a lot. So I'm just gonna let it keep filling in. I'm thinking a good spot to end off this episode is when the population hits 30,000, possibly. I don't know how like realistic that is as far as like if there's enough space for that to happen. But if I could get up to that point during this episode, at least, that would be really cool. So if that happens in time, it'll be great. If not, I'm not going to hold y'all hostage until I hit it. You know, like, don't worry. So, look at this in here. This is cute. I mean, it's kind of strip mall-ish, but it's not too bad. I wonder why this is not. Oh, you know what? I don't think there's any high density that are in this style for this. So we're just gonna have it be the commercial and call it good. This right here is gonna be a park. I think that makes sense to have a park there. I just really like how this is turning out. Also, this has kind of inspired me a little bit for a better name for this neighborhood. Are you ready for this? Brace yourselves. Red Palms. Boom. Nailed it. Oh, that's so fun. And then, I mean, traffic is still looking pretty okay. Oh, this is kind of a situation over in here, but that's okay. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it for 2 seconds, I don't think that I ever went through and like fixed the traffic control for any of these, so I'll have to go in and do that later. But I mean, for now, it's not looking too bad. If we look at the map, I might eat my words right now, but no, really, it's still pretty solid. I mean, there's still these trouble spots. I do think it's funny that, like, here in Small Rock, it's, like, the worst. But, yeah, at least in here, like, it's running pretty well. So I'm happy with that. And I'm for sure gonna do, like, a light rail that'll come, like, right in here. Like, there'll be the commuter rail. So definitely mass transit is going to be a big part of this. So don't even worry. This area seems like kind of a trouble spot. I'm not totally clear why, but it'll be fine. So next, I'm gonna just go down to regular time, and I am gonna start developing these areas right in here. So what I'm thinking is I will continue the trees in the medium look. I just said medium. Trees in the median look. But this is going to be a drivable road. If I can get it the right length. So it'll come out here. And then we will just have these regular. This is where we're going to be getting a little more suburby. I mean, I know the word is suburban, but every time I say suburban, like, I know it's like an actual term for like that's what the original thing was, but I can only ever think about the car. So it's not even that I don't like the word, I just get this mental block every time I use it, where that's like all I can picture is a suburban, which is really stupid, but like that I am stupid, so it tracks. Just go ahead, get all this zoned. Pretty simple, nothing crazy. I am going to zone some of this by the school. This section by the soccer field, I'm not going to. I don't want that to be like totally covered up. I might do something else with this space a little later on. Not totally sure what that'll be yet, but that's kind of the idea that I'm gonna go with. Over in here, I think... Ooh, I don't even know what to do. It's kind of a weird shape. So... I'll probably just bring in this road to the end. And just kind of... Sure, you know? Like... none of this has to make sense, because it's like gonna be such a insignificant portion of the city. Like it's just gonna be these little weird sections next to the freeway that, you know, they don't really matter that much. So it'll work just to have some cul-de-sacs in there randomly, you know. Why not? This one in here, I think I will be able to do something a little more like that makes sense. Just kind of like that. And since this is like an elementary school, I'll probably do a fence, you know, right around in there. So there's separation from this off-ramp, but then also it'll kind of fill in that space. And we can bring just that over in there. These properties would probably not be like the most desirable to have, but that's fine. You know, we're letting it happen. I'm gonna actually not do that there. I forgot I said 2 seconds ago I was gonna put the school there. It might be fun to do a little shop right in there, and then that can be some shops, and the rest, actually probably this one should be some shops as well, because that is on a more major road. But the rest of these can be just the regular little houses that we know and love so much. Oh, actually, I know what I was planning on for this little space. I was gonna do some zoning. I just wasn't gonna zone it all the way up to the side. I was just gonna do like the 3 and call it a day. So there we go. That school looks like a prison. I think I went off like an episode or 2 ago about the schools that look like prisons. I don't even remember exactly why. Make this building historical. It's like I don't want it to go away. But I did. I shared some thoughts that I had on that, which I'm sure was just wildly entertaining and or alarming for all of you. So, yay for that. There's some weird little things in here. I'm gonna not worry about it for now. Okay, actually I am gonna worry about one part. This little section in here, I zoned it commercial. I think it needs to not be zoned, period, because it's such a weird little spot. And I definitely think it lends itself better to being like a little, like a tiny little park sort of situation, rather than having a bunch of weirdly oriented buildings on it. So that's what we'll do for that. I also am thinking there's these 2 blocks here that are especially big, because of the funky shape that I made just for fun. So I'm kind of thinking I don't want to build a road back in there, so actually never mind. I was gonna say I could develop, but I don't want to have another intersection on this road. So over in here, I maybe feel a little bit better about it. I'm just knocking down one house. You know, who cares? Oops. Okay, so gonna go ahead and just put, oh, that was the wrong one though. Some residential in there. just for fun, just to help things feel a little more full. And then, yeah, I'm really vibing with how this is looking. I want to make sure that is historical. What about this one? Is this one? No. It is now. What is this one? This one also needs to be. Actually, this is a much more helpful tool, I feel like, looking at the skyline from like farther away to get an idea of like what buildings are kind of important that should definitely stay, and then like being able to mark them right then and be like, hey, this has got to be there still. Also, let's just take a moment to appreciate that this building right here pretty much automatically already has like a really cool sightline, and I did mark it historical, so that is awesome. The one bummer to this that I just realized though is that this road is one way going the other way, so you're never gonna, like, if you're driving into the city, you're not going to be seeing that. I guess if you look in the rearview mirror on your way out of the city, you'll see that, but it's okay, you know, it's close enough. It'll do the job. This little spot is not developing. I just want to give that more of a chance. I think this is going quite swimmingly. Yes, sir. Okay. So I think where I'll leave off for this episode is I'm just going to go ahead, fill things in this neighborhood with some more foliage. I'm probably not going to be adding more palm trees than what's already here. I think that needs to not be all it is. Like, for sure, to have some is great, but to have only that is not okay, and I was having my pine tree withdrawals, so gotta fix that. So I mean, yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll, I guess, play you out the little fast forward montage of me putting in a ton of trees, and yeah, okay, bye.